All right, guys, I'm going to start by saying that I know this video is going to trigger some people. It may trigger a lot of people. And I'm sorry if you're one of those individuals that is one of my fans, but I hope you forgive me. You do not have to watch this video. However, I am making this video for a very particular subset group of people out there that play Diablo Immortal. So this is my guide on how to whale efficiently. So this video is not for free-to-play players. It is not for players that spend maybe $5 to $10 a month, that maybe get the battle pass on one little thing here or there. But it's also not necessarily for the mega whales that will spend $50,000 to $100,000, even though they may benefit from watching this video because they could save a bunch of money. This video is for people that I would call that will whale in moderation. Now, the term moderate and moderation is very subjective here. What I am going to discuss here may not very well be moderate to you. You may not think it's reasonable at all, but we are going to be talking about people that are going to be spending a couple $100 in this game, upwards to a couple $1,000, but not necessarily $10, $20, $30, $40,000 and so forth. So in this video, I will go over what to spend your money on in the money shop. We are also then going to spend most of the time talking about what to upgrade and to what degree. This game has very, very linear power progression in many ways, but the cost for that progression is exponential. I do believe there's specific breakpoints that I find that are efficient. We're going to discuss those. And going beyond that is not necessarily efficient, and I would not recommend for what I would say whales that want to be efficient and to whale in moderation. So if you find that kind of information informative and helpful, make sure to drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will listen to all of them and I'll do my best to reply. I am expecting that I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm okay with that. Hopefully for those of you that are trying to play this game competitively but not go broke, this is for you. The goal is to maybe get in the top 5%, and I 100% believe that if you are in the top 5% of players, which you can do on this budget, then you can compete with the big whales at least to certain degrees. All right, guys, that is my kind of initial thoughts on this. For those of you that stick around, let's go and check out how to whale efficiently in Diablo Immortal. All right, guys, we're going to start by talking about the cash shop. And this is going to be very, very simple for the most part. So what are we spending money on? First of all, you're going to get all the services. They're very, very efficient. Dollar for dollar, what you're going to get. That means Battle Pass. You're going to be playing this game a ton, so this is a total waste. Unless you really want this weird cosmetics. Get the Boon of Plenty. Definitely worth it. Get the Prodigy's Path. You're definitely going to be getting to 85. Season 2 just started today. I'm almost at 85. I'll be there probably in a week. Well, our top progression people in our guild are already there. You're going to get there as well. Phenomenal value. You're also going to get all the main bundles. Anything that is 100% plus value, just get it by default. It's going to be a combination of items that are going to help you get great upgrades across the board, and they are a good value. Now, there are also other bundles that repeat every couple of days to every week. I wanted to point those out. Magnate's Supplies. This is every single week. This is definitely worth it for 30 legendary crests. Now these are for pure upgrades. These you cannot trade. You're going to get 36 gems, and then you're going to get 170 aspirant keys. This is a very good value, and I like to get this every month. It refreshes at the 15th. Now, I also like the Rift Runner supplies. So this is going to give you 6 gems. Now, they are not tradable. Again, so this is only going to be used for upgrading your gems, not on the auction house. But again, at a 40% discount once a week, this is a good enough value where I don't mind risking potentially any losses associated with getting a high rank 5-star legendary that maybe I can't sell. Now these other ones, I'm not really as big of a fan. I don't really get the gems unless you're like on the cusp of upgrading something, because these are not tradable on the auction house. So this is purely for your own upgrades of your non-legendary gems, which are a decent amount of power, but I'm not a huge fan of spending money on it. The aspirin supplies for $8.99, again, going into the Sanctum and the Horadrim's Legacy, those are some pretty good buffs. There are a variety of ways to get this for free in-game. So if you're really trying to push that stuff, you could spend money on it, but this is kind of optional in my opinion. And then there's the Secret Supplies, and this one I'm not a fan of, because the way it values the discount is that it puts a value on the normal crests. And for the pay-to-win crowd, these are useless. They only have a 5% chance of giving you a 1-star gem. You cannot get a 2-star gem or a 5-star gem. So really you're paying $2 a pop for the legendary crest and a little bit more for this. So not as good of a deal as the other one, the other crest purchase, and they're also not tradable. So again, of the two supplies that you can get that are going to get you legendary crest, this is the one that I personally pass up on. Some people get it, but not a fan. And then there's the reality that no matter what, you're going to run out of the bundles pretty quickly. And even though I was trying to spend as little as possible on this direct purchase of Eternal Orbs, the reality is you're going to need to do it as a whale. So needless to say, just get the $99.99 value. You're going to be getting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of this. Might as well get the 20% bonus. It is what it is. Go at a pace that you're comfortable with. Don't overspend. Don't be selling any kidneys. Don't be donating blood to buy yourself these Eternal Orbs. Find a pace that works for you. So that's everything you need to know as far as what we're going to be mainly purchasing. You may sometimes have to get a Downing Echo, for example. This is very situational. We'll talk about that when we talk about unlocking and ascending your legendary gems and gear slots. All right, guys. So next, I'm going to talk to you about where to spend your resources and how to upgrade to whale efficiently. So first and foremost, you're still going to have to play the game a ton. So the way you want to look at it is your legendary gems are going to provide you with superpowers and something called resonance, which is going to provide you with a base multiplier for your base attributes on your stats, which will provide you increases to your equipment base stats. Now, the base stats of your equipment is based on the gear you get, which is dependent on your Paragon level. So as you get higher Paragon levels, you're going to unlock higher level gear that's going to have a chance to roll with better stats. So as you notice, I'm level 46 now, or 76 here. Once I hit Paragon 3 at level 80, that's going to give me a whole new tier of gear I can get access to, and so on and so on. So there's no way around having to grind. You can't buy all the power. You can only buy a lot of the power. Because if you think about it, let's say you had base stats that total, I'm just going to make up this number, 1,000, and then you have 1,000 into resonance. Well, those stats will be bumped up to 100 or 1,500. And if your resonance is higher and your multiplier is 100%, then it will double and so forth. So yes, it's going to help you a lot, but if you have level 1 gear, well, that multiplier is not going to be that helpful. If your total stats are, let's say, 100 for a specific element, well, getting 50% of that is only going to take you from 100 to 150. Hope that kind of makes sense in a very simplified way. All right, next, we actually do need to talk about legendary gems and how you're going to utilize them, because realistically, you're only going to use so many of them for your actual gear. Most of them you're going to use to either sell on the auction house, to flip for profits, and then to purchase more efficient feeder gems. So, as you hopefully know, there are two types of legendary gems, ones that are bound and ones that are unbound. And so any of these bound ones that don't have the little auction house symbol as you see here, they're pretty much useless for anything but using or feeding. In a perfect world, you would have 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 stars for your main gems, but as somebody that's trying to efficiently whale, it's perfectly acceptable to have a 3 out of 5 star primary legendary gem. I would just avoid 2 out of 5 star legendary gems if you can, as those you're most likely going to want to use as feeders. Now, of course, if we are talking about bound gems, you will inevitably probably have some that are 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, and 5 out of 5. And if you're not going to hang on to them to maybe use later, you may still end up using them as feeders because, again, we cannot sell them. So what we really want to talk about are the unbound gems. And this is how you're going to want to calculate which ones to sell and which ones to hold on to. Now, I want to point out that every market is different. So my numbers are for my server only that I'm going to share with you, but you want to use a very similar system. So what you need to do is you need to go on your auction house and find out what a low baseline cost is for a 1-star gem. So for example, here's a Defiant Soul. Well, here's one that's under 1,200. Wow, that's actually really cheap. I'm going to go ahead and buy that up. So on my server, 1,200 is pretty low. A lot of them are in the 1,300s. Like I would never buy a 2,100 here. But if you take a look, you can look around. There's lots of them that are around 1,200 to 1,300. Again, I'll go on here on a regular basis, and I'm going to go ahead and buy up any ones that are under 1,200 generally. Now, I went for my calculation and used 1,250 as my kind of target amount. And based on that number, as you see here on this chart, then I value a 2-star gem that is worth 4 feeder gems at 4 times that amount, which is 5,000. And then a baseline 5-star gem, meaning 2 out of 5, at 32 times that rate. So that calculation is 40,000. Now, what I'm trying to help you figure out is at what point is a gem worth selling on the auction house so that you can go ahead and take that platinum and then buy 1-star gems more effectively. We also, though, have to factor in the 15% fee the market takes. So really what we're seeing here is a 5,000 platinum gem really needs to sell for 5,750 for you to break even on it. And a 40,000 platinum gem really needs to sell for 46,000. Now, all this means is that's going to lead you to break even. So that may not even be worth it for you because don't forget, you got to put the gem on the auction house. It's going to sit there. Then even if it sells, there's a hold period. There's all this stuff. So if you can only sell it at these amounts, it's not efficient to sell and rebuy. However, if you can, for some reason, have a gem that on your auction house based off similar rates like this, all of a sudden I'm saying, oh, wow, okay, this 2-star gem is selling for 7,000. Well, that gives me almost an extra gem or more than an extra gem. I'm going to put on auction out for 7,000. If that gem that I need to sell for 46,000 is selling for 55,000, heck yeah, I'm going to sell it. Now, 3 out of 5 star gems, 4 out of 5, and 5 out of 5, those you basically almost always want to sell. Now, my market has been suppressed, so some of them dropped down a little bit. But because they will only ever count as feeders, and as feeders, they count as 32 gems, so 32 elements. The idea is that unless they sold for less than 46,000, which hopefully a 3 out of 5 or 3-5 gem should never sell for that little, hopefully, it will always be profitable for you to sell it unless you're gonna use it. And especially 4 and 5 out of 5-star gems, I recommend to you, if you're trying to be efficient, sell all of your 4/5 and 5/5 legendary gems, make crazy profits, and then you can use that money to buff up your 3 out of 5-star gems. So a perfectly efficient, cost-efficient whale is going to have basically a bunch out of 3 out of 5-star gems, unless your gem that was 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 was bound. Now, using that criteria, as I mentioned, you can go backwards now when it comes to buying. I use the example of 1-star gems, but we can go ahead, and I'm going to show you right now on the auction house here. I'm going to take a look at like Cutthroat gem here. And remember, I mentioned 5,000 is the bottom floor. So these right here, these Cutthroat grins, they're selling for 4,000. This is the phenomenal deal. These are selling really, really low. So you know what? I'm gonna, well, if they were available, I would buy them, but they're not available here. So this is what you want to basically do. You want to go and look at the market, see what they're selling for. My market seems to have a pretty good value based on my calculation on 2-star gems. So I would want to go and check these on a regular basis and buy them up. See, this one is much more expensive. The lowest is 4,400 and a lot of them are 5,000 plus. It's not as good of a deal. It's still a good deal technically, because remember, for me, I would only want to sell them if they were 57.50 or higher. So if I'm really being honest, all of these are buyable. I would probably want to buy up all these 4,400, this 4,400 and probably the 4,700s as well. So that's the formula you want to use. Can you push it to 2 out of 5s? Yes, you can. But again, you're way less likely to get good feeder value on the 2 out of 5 legendary gems because a lot of people are going to be using them for their upgrades. So now that you know how to make profits and buy as many feeder gems effectively on Auction House, now it's about knowing what to upgrade and to what level. And this is where I'm going to talk to you about awakening gems. And this is actually important because for those of you that don't know, once you can get any legendary gem to rank 10, you have an ability to awaken a slot, and any time you have a rank 10 gem in that slot, it's going to give you a specific buff. But, and this is a big but, it's very important to note that the buffs you get are sensitive to what basically legendary enchant you have here. So, for example, notice I like this awakened ability because when I have this golem ability active, my command golem damage increased by 10%. This is big for me for PvP and PvE, so I chose to upgrade this. Another one is here. Bone spike damage increased by 10%. This is another thing I use for PvP. Also, the buff for my PvE build is also excellent for shoulders that I use. So in these two cases, I wanted to prioritize these awakenings. Now, because I'm being cost effective and I knew that it's expensive to awaken these gems, as far as getting the gems there, I was very selective. So I looked at my other abilities. Well, Bone Wall cooldown decreased by 10%. This is pretty good, actually, for PvP. I'd probably go with this one next, but I prioritize the other ones more. This one here, for example, Bone Spike damage increased by 10%. This could be quite good because it would stack with this other one. So again, this would be on my higher priority list. However, let's take a look at the shield. Command Golem Summon Life increased 10%. This does nothing for me. So this would be a low priority. I probably would not want to upgrade this. And in my PvP setup here, I actually have a decent amount of quality upgrades. But let me kind of show you exactly what happens when I swap over to my PvE gear, and you'll see why this is not so easy if you're playing both PvP and PvE. Now here we are looking at my PvE setup. And so I look at some of these and they're all of a sudden not quite as good of a deal. So while I was really happy for both PvE and PvP because I had the same enchant on my weapon, well, unfortunately my helmet, while I like the PvP buff, I do not like the PvE buff. The PvE buff is command skeleton cooldown decreased by 10%. This is not worth the huge investment on me. So this is what you have to figure out. If you only have one setup for both PvE and PvP, that's going to be easy. If you have two setups, it's going to be more complicated. But no matter what you choose, it's very important that you need to go in here and identify which of these enchants for your playstyle are going to be the most important. Once you identify that, you can go ahead and decide, okay, which gems am I going to take to rank 10 first to unlock these awakenings? Now, what I'm going to show you guys next on screen are the costs of ranking up 1-star, 2-star, and 5-star gems. And you're going to potentially be shocked if you haven't seen this before. Now, rank 1s, remember, it doesn't matter whether you have a rank 1 or rank 5 gem to awaken, you just need to awaken it. So clearly, if you're trying to be cost effective, you'll probably want to start with what I did. And you'll notice for me, I have 2 1-star rank 10 gems. I have Berserker Eye and then I have Everlasting Torment. Both independently very, very good 1-star gems. And based off the chart you see here, it cost me a total of 196 gem power, so 196 tier 1 gem equivalents. And then you'll notice that there's a total of 5 rank 1 duplicates. So this is relatively easy because you can either get them pretty commonly as drops, or you can craft them. Now going to a rank 2 is a big investment on top of it. When it comes to gem power, we're talking about over 3 times more gem power. And when it comes to the duplicates for tier 2s that are more expensive, it's 8 times more. So we are efficient, cost-effective whales. So we're clearly going to start with 2 rank 1 gems, in my case, that are rank 10. Now, if in your build setup, you only really like have 1 must-have buff, then just start with 1. Or maybe you have 3, and so maybe you'll start by buffing up 3 rank 1s. Don't forget, if you max out a rank 1 duplicate gem that costs you 196 gem power, for example, you could, in theory, later on, feed it into a 5-star gem. And as you can see on the 5-star gem ratio, the numbers get insane, over 4,450. So you could use it towards getting one of the ranks later on, if need be. So it's never a true waste. Now we will talk about the optimal levels that I think you should level up a 5-star gem in just a moment. However, before we go there, I want to talk to you about gem resonance because a lot of people don't know about this. So you may notice here, I have this selected and it says resonance 1 of 20 and it has 2 grayed out boxes. Primary attack damage increased by 3%. Skill damage increased by 2%, and it says 10 and 20. So if you look at this, what this really is that every single rank 10 gem can fit a number of other gems in there. So a 1-star gem will only ask you to put in other 1-star gems. So in this case, inside of this gem, I can place another Everlasting Torment. And what's important here is that all that matters for this is the rank. So if I were to get an Everlasting Torment and put it in here, that's rank 10, like the one I had on my main piece, this would give me 10 points. It would basically give me 10 more residents. So that's like an extra rank. And it will also give my primary attack damage increase by 3. And then once you actually have just rank 5, and I only have rank 1 on this because I use that as an example, you can put in a Mocking Laughter in this spot and the same thing. So in theory, a 1-star gem can really be 3 rank 1 gems at tier 30. Now that would basically give you an extra 20 resonance bonus and these 2 bonuses. Is this cost effective? No. Do not do this unless you're going to high-end whale. This is by no means cost effective in my opinion. Now, rank 2 gems have more options and they're more expensive and the buffs are a little bit better. And same with rank 5s. This is how some people will spend 100,000 plus because they're going to have gems within gems and all of them are going to be rank 10. You don't need to do that. The diminishing returns are insane because remember, you don't get the special powers. You don't get to double dip on this Everlasting Torment buffs. You don't get any of the buffs of Mocking Laughter. Having a rank 10 gem in here will give you 10 residents and the bonuses that you see here on the left. So again, this is high-end whaling. It is not cost-effective whaling. All right, so now we come to the final section and the biggest question. At what tier of the different gems do I find we get the best bang for our buck? Now, if you are going to be mini whaling and you're going to be using 1-star gems in your loadout, there's only one reason to do that, and that's to effectively and quickly awaken the slots on your armor to get those 10% bonuses. And so, 1-star gems should always go to rank 10. You're going to get the maximum bonuses, all the tiers unlocked, max resonance, and again, most importantly, you can use them as awakened gems. If you're not going to be using a 1-star gem as a rank 10 to awaken a piece of armor to be cost effective, then you shouldn't be using it. There are better 2-star or 5-star gem options that even at tier 1 or tier 2 will be more productive. Now, if you have a very, very good 2-star gem that you like, and they're not all for everybody, but if you have one that's really good for your build, then you have an important decision to make. And so the decision is, are you going to push it to rank 10? 685 gem power is expensive, but it is still reachable for a mid-level whale. It's going to be a big commitment, so you need to make sure this is a gem that is just perfect and min-maxed. And in those cases, you can basically push it to rank 10 in lieu of a 1-star gem. But again, it's a much, much bigger commitment as the chart shows. Which takes us to the 5-star gems. And this is where that well gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So for example, I'm showing you right now, I have my Blessing of the Worth. It's a 4-star, it's my best gem. I have it at rank 4. And if I want to upgrade it, so I'm right here at rank 4, if you look at the chart, to get it to rank 5, it's a little confusing. It says 5 duplicates and 250 gem power. This is what it really looks like. So what you really need here is you need one of these gems that is rank 1. And this is where I lost a lot of money. This can be anything. This will eat up, if you let it, a Blessing of the Worth 3-star. But it doesn't give you any other benefits. It just cares about having one of these. So you want to give it a rank 1 2-star duplicate because it's the cheapest to get. Don't lose 40,000 platinum like I did. Now, you will also need, and here's the kicker. When I clicked at this, I thought, and I was stupid, that it needed basically 2 3-star versions. It does not. You need 2 gems of any type, and they need to be rank 3, meaning leveled up to level 3. Now, to get it to rank 3, it's the same as if you were going to go through the process little by little, but this lets you do it all at once. So it quite literally tells you, click on here, it needs 2 Blessing of the Worthy, rank 1s, 2-star or higher. Again, don't waste the 3, 4, or 5-star accidentally. So you need 2 of these, and you need a total of 125 resonance. And again, you can go in here and custom pick it. Make sure you don't accidentally burn a 3, 4, or 5-star, because it will do it if you let it auto-populate. And again, you're going to need 2 of these to complete this. So once you have 1, optimally, 1 rank 1 2-star gem and 2 2-star rank 3s, you can up it to rank 5. And rank 5, I believe, is the magic number. Why? Well, if you take a look at this, this is a big breaking point for every 5-star gem. And in fact, rank 5 is the breaking point for all gems. So not only are you going to have the basic linear increase in resonance and combat rating, that stays very consistent, but you will unlock an upgraded ability. So for this gem, for 6 seconds after unleashing Divine Retribution, I take 8% decreased damage. That's more than before. But most importantly, you increase your chance to find magic items here by 15%. I believe 1-star it's 5%, 2-star it's 10%. This is huge because this is not explained appropriately. This increases the chance of you finding superior or exceptional armor. Those are the ones that have 3 stats and dramatically higher gear. So if you are trying to be efficient money-wise and also power-wise, you want to get to rank 5 if you can. You get that on all the items, and then all of a sudden, your gear is going to get better. And if you remember the beginning of the video, big part of this is grinding and getting the gear, and the resonance of the gems is going to multiply those base values. So they work together. Hence, this is your best bang for the buck. After rank 5, this magic find does not increase. Even at rank 10, it stays at 15. The other numbers will increase. Other stuff will pop on there. However, The cost, as you can see, again on the chart, keeps going up and it gets really expensive. Rank 5, it takes 250 gem power, then 375, then 725, and then over 1,000 2 times at the end there. So it's very, very top heavy. The top whales that want to spend 50 to 100,000, go ahead, hit 6 to 10. If you are being cost effective, at the end of the day, you will have most likely between 3 and 4 5-star gems that are going to be rank 5. And then you're going to have any combination of 1 or 2-star gems that are going to be rank 10 for your awakenings. So there you have it, guys. There is my guide for whaling efficiently and effectively. Is it cheap? No. But can you get tremendous power and effectiveness for way less than those top dollar numbers? Yes, you can. You just got to be smart with your money, smart with your platinum, and smart with your gem choices. If you found this video helpful, make sure to share it, like it, subscribe, and let me know your comments below. Maybe you have some other tips that I've missed out on. I would love to hear it so that I can share it with the people I know. And again, as always, thank you for all your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.